And we are live. Welcome, Crypto Warriors, to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 416. Today is Thursday, June 20th, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 3-ish. I have some great news stories for you today, starting with the top story. Quadriga CX CEO set up fake crypto exchange accounts with customer funds. Representative Maxine Waters says U.S. can't let Facebook's Libra compete with the dollar. Billions may be saved by tokens backed with central bank money, says Bank of England chief. And last but not least, Riviera Beach City Council agrees to pay $600,000 in Bitcoin to ransomware attackers. Whew! Don't get caught slipping out here, people. So before we get into it, let's jump into some market updates for today. A lot of excited people on Twitter. Bitcoin actually has jumped up today to $9,513, up 2.7%. Ripple is at 43 cents, down 0.9%. Ethereum holding strong at $272, up 1.3% today. Bcash fell down to $412, down 0.8%. EOS dropped a little bit below $7 at $680, and Litecoin is sitting at $135, down 1.1% today. So we're seeing a mixture of green and red. A lot of people getting excited about Bitcoin's price. I will say, just doing some quick charting before I got on here, don't buy a Fibonacci resistance or a diagonal resistance either. And the price of 9,500 is about that area. So I wouldn't say, don't buy ever, because it's Bitcoin. Anytime is a good time to buy. But don't FOMO, people. I know people are excited, but please don't FOMO into the price where it is now. So let's get into some of the people who are joining in. Jizzy Mac, what's going on, boss? Tony Nolly, Blockchain Suja, yep, haven't caught you in a while. Glad to have you in. Woe Be Easy, glad to have you as well. Trish NYC, hello. Eric Brooks, present. Yes, sir. Glad to have you in. Shinobi, glad to have you as well. Food with Money, wife says no. Wire Sparks, everybody pouring in now. Good to see the update on the notification is hopefully working. We've discussed it with YouTube plenty of times, and at this point, it should be fixed. So let's jump into our first story of the day. People, we have discussed Quadriga CX CEO so many times, I almost didn't want to do this story, but we have to follow up, and we have to let you know everything going on with this ongoing case. Seems it's got even weirder than we figured before. We thought, he may have faked his death. His wife might have had something to do with it. There was the Ernst & Young got involved. They got their cut of the money somehow. Who knows exactly how they got into it. But one of the biggest things I want to point out with Quadriga CX is that we, the Gentleman of Crypto, said that it was not over. We realized that the only way you can move $191 million worth of lost crypto or hacked crypto is for you to steal it. If somebody is that incompetent that you lose 190 million, I already don't want anything to do with you. But if you transferred millions of dollars of crypto out of customer accounts and into other exchanges to furnish your personal lifestyle and trading habits, I hope for his sake that he is really dead, because if not, somebody will probably find him and make sure that he really is. So it looks like overall, the CEO Cotton, Gerald Cotton, has stolen more than 200 million USD from his customers. The actual quote here is, significant volumes of cryptocurrency were transferred off the platform outside of Quadriga to competitor exchanges and then into personal accounts controlled by Mr. Cotton. It appears that some of the cryptocurrency was traded on these exchanges and uses security for margin trading. People, if there is one terrible use case to do margin trading, is to have a fake exchange, accept people's money, take that money, and then put it on margin. Because between 2016 and 2018, he transferred about 88 million in Bitcoin, about 105 million in Ethereum, and about 33 million in Litecoin. And when he created those fake accounts, he basically was able to transfer that money over, use it on margin, and then create fiat out after it. Apparently, he was the worst trader of all time, because he lost all but 8 Bitcoin. Got liquidated on a trade. And if you don't know, as far as trading goes, what liquidation means, it means that you put up a certain amount of money in order to make a trade. If it falls below a certain percentage amount or a dollar amount, your account gets liquidated to cover the cost of that margin loan you just got. So He sent 21,501 Bitcoin to an account. But once again, like I said, all but eight Bitcoin were left. So this is easily the worst Bitcoin trader in the history of life. I mean, a monkey could push the button twice, sell, buy, and probably do better than this guy. Hopefully, I don't know if it was something wrong if he tried to trade and buy it or something. I don't know, but this is completely garbage. If you go from 21,000 Bitcoin to 8 Bitcoins, you are the worst Bitcoin trader in the history of life. And one of the worst parts is he could be dead. We don't know. He could be missing, but I wish he's alive so I could tell him in person how terrible of a trader you are. You could have gave me 20 of them and I would have done better than that. Not even 21,000, but as of May, the actual estate, the Cotton estate, has 21 million assets to cover the 160 million remaining in liabilities. And the FBI is currently looking into those losses. So when you think it couldn't get any crazier, not only was he running a fake exchange, not only did they lose 190 million, not only did his wife possibly lie, Ernst & Young get involved, FBI involved. He was margin trading with other people's money and went from 21,000 Bitcoins to 8 single Bitcoins. Jesus Christ, you are terrible, Jared Cotton. And we don't even have a thing for that. There's not even a dinosaur of the day or not even a way to call him out. Just terrible. So let's get into some of these comments because I know some new people have gotten in. Minho, what's going on, boss? Dry dessert. Let's see. Did I watch Da Vinci's video about Facebook's Libra coin? Highly recommended. Block for IP addresses in USA and Canada. Yes, I have heard of that. Didn't see his video, but I have heard of that as well. Unfortunately, blocking VP or blocking IP addresses is not anything new, but VPN is life if you are in the crypto world. Shinobi 1, that's some super villainish. Yeah, gang for real. Definitely 190 million gone is, yeah, that's a no-go, bro. Wife says no. Is it confirmed that he really lost it on margin? That is one thing that I'm waiting for them to completely confirm. However, on the accounts that are, that are his name or, they are similar to his trading habits, I guess, on his accounts with his name on it, 21,000 turned into 8 Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if he set some sort of sale or buy order or a stop limit. It didn't register, or if there was, some sort of engine problem like there is on BitMEX. Who knows? But 21,000 to 8 Bitcoin is pretty bad. Pretty trash. Let's see. Tommy Brown. Yep, he would have made out better holding, like a lot of people. Blockchain Shuja, he might have offed himself. Hey, man, that might be the real reason. He went on margin with that much money, thought he was going to turn it into, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, become a super billionaire. Didn't happen, and he's gone. So let's see. Tony Nolly, or he faked his own death and the accounts. I think that may be what's going on here. If he is dead, I want to see proof. And let's see who else we got here. Trich NYC 123. Does anyone think Bitcoin will ever go back to 6,500? It is a possibility, but I do think we are entering a bull market. I believe we're already started. As far as the developments going on in the space, we've been going rapid fire the past month. So as far as the price is almost tripled. Once it goes past 10,000, it'll be about there. So from its bottom. So pretty good to see there. Don't know if we retrace. I will wait to see a drop below the actual resistance that it passed. Once it passes, goes back to that resistance, 6,600 is the retrace level people are talking about. So possibility, but you want to hedge your bets. Let's see. Wire Sparks, 21,000. Yeah, damn. Martin Lawrence, bro. Voice. Absolutely, man. 21,000 down to 8. So let's get into some more news today. Representative Maxine Waters says U.S. can't let Facebook's Libra compete with the dollar. So yesterday, I actually mentioned Representative Maxine Waters as one of the leading voices to try and get Libra under control. And even though I may not be a fan of Facebook per se and of Libra at all, I will say if you're trying to shut down software companies because of competition, we have a problem. And this is why the free market, in our opinion, is so important, because the chair of the U.S. House Financial Services Committee is doubling down on her calls for Facebook to pause development on its new blockchain Libra. I know there are a lot of people out there, especially a lot of black women and black men, who call her auntie. And Maxine Waters, she's cool, she's hip, she talks, she says what she has to do to people who, have injustice. Good for her, whatever. As far as money goes, she still is controlled by the people who control the money system, which is the Fed. And Bitcoin was created to end the Fed, or at least change how they do business. Of course, that is not going to come without a fight. And this looks like the fight right here. 2 days after calling for a hearing, Maxine Waters called for a moratorium on Libra development, saying it's very important for them to stop right now what they're doing so we can get a handle on this. Sounds so scared. We've got to protect our consumers. We just can't allow them to go to Switzerland with all of its associates and begin to compete with the dollar. Somebody sounds scared. That's all I have to say. The strength of the dollar is the backbone of the actual government, because if the US dollar fails and people basically have to do what they have to do to get food and shelter and things of that nature, and there is no government running things, then you'll start to see what a lot of people in Bitcoin are starting to see, that, hey, in the free market, most of the people in government, we don't listen to anything you have to say at all. So you coming out and saying this, to me, shows you're really scared that Libra may come out and overtake the US dollar, because it's more simple, more fast, and you don't have to print off and waste money on printing dollars. And she went on further to say, and while we're doing that, they have moved on to develop this cryptocurrency. We're now going to move, and we're going to move aggressively and very quickly to deal what is going on with this new cryptocurrency. I don't think she probably has no clue how cryptocurrency works, or blockchain, or Bitcoin, or anything for that matter. However, it is a competitor to the US dollar. So her masters, just like everybody else in Congress, they only got in there because of the money given to them, fiat dollars, the money given to them from bankers, from private equity people. So they have to say this. I'm not saying this is how she really feels, but they have to say this, because Facebook, if people want to use Facebook's Libra more than they want to use cash in their accounts, that is competition for them. And they will have to justify, or the government will have to justify, why do we still use cash? I mean, at what point, why do we still use banks? And once that, I believe she's starting to see that Pandora's box has already been opened. She's just late to the party to see it. So let's look at some of the comments we have here. Cornelius Broadnock, protect consumers since when? Exactly, man. That's always the excuse. If you're new to watching, remember, don't fall for the okie doke. Anything for your protection is usually going to limit you in the future. Trich NYC, I understand. Shinobi, just wanted to ask. I want to hold and don't want to get caught out there. Cool. Let's see. Blockchain Shuja, largest commodity in America is the US dollar. You are correct. We print it, we control it, we inflate it, we give it to banks give it to us, it circulates. Dollar bills have a lot of cocaine and doo-doo residue on it. Yeah, we all know the story about fiat currency. It's trash. And I believe Max Kaiser is burning 1 million fiat dollars at a conference coming up soon, big conference, Bitcoin 2019 conference. So yes, we all know our largest commodity is US dollar. And like I said before, covered in cocaine and doo-doo residue, which kind of is what America's about. Top Networks Group, Cornelius with the comment of the day. Absolutely. Harold George, I love that Libra is now the crypto boogeyman. It's going to boost adoption of Bitcoin among those scared of Facebook. Absolutely. And Bitcoin people like myself, true crypto people, I don't see them as competition. I see them as competition for the dollar, because they can have a stable coin, but actual cryptocurrency, no, not at all. Let's see. Minho, let's see. Need to protect consumers. It's so funny. Absolutely. I know, right? And wife says, no, watch what they do, not what they say in this world. Absolutely. We do not listen to anything they say. We literally look at the news and we tell you what they're really saying. And it's usually the opposite. And let's see, Cornelius, I'll be there to withstand the flames. Oh, yeah, I'll be there with you too, brother. All right. So jumping to our next story. Let's see where we're at now. Billions may be saved by tokens backed with central bank money. Bank of England chief. Don't want to spend too much time on this story because it is more blockchain, not Bitcoin. But Mark Carney, who is the Bank of England governor, has said that distributed ledger technology has the potential to unlock billions of pounds in capital and liquidity, and that one day we may be closer to cooperation with the central bank itself. This is also the same person who said that the Fed cannot be taken over by cryptocurrency. But blockchain is admirable. And, you know, Mark Carney is one of the higher ups, so I don't really take much of what he says as true. But he spoke today at the Utility Settlement Coin Initiative, or the firm that's behind it, and they said that they've raised over $63 million in order to use distributed ledger technology. So this is an example. Also, Bank of England approached Libra with an open mind, but not an open door. So he's kind of in the space, but not really. He's describing what the space could be if they can regulate it. However, I think they'll come to find out at some point regulation is going to get 10 times harder than they thought if they try and regulate cryptocurrencies completely. But I do want to point out that if we can save billions of dollars and if we can save a lot of time, this is why central banks are looking at distributed ledger technology. So just want to throw that tidbit in there. Good old Mark Carney, good to hear from you. And goodbye. So moving to our last story, Riviera Beach City Council agrees to pay $600,000 in Bitcoin to ransomware attackers. Oh my! I mean, people, if you are a individual, we teach security. If you are a small business owner, we teach security. But if you are an entire Riviera Beach City Council with a budget for IT security and IT manager and a CTO, there is no excuse for you to get hit with this ransomware because in Riviera Beach, Florida, they have agreed to pay nearly $600,000 worth of Bitcoin to regain access to data encrypted by a hacker. Good gracious, man. So on May 29th, the city experienced a data security event where the police department employee opened an allegedly infected email attachment, which eventually resulted in the online system breakdown. Man, I do not miss my days of doing IT and having to tell people do not click on links in your email unless you know exactly what it is. And usually don't click on it at all. I mean, when I did IT, you'd be surprised the number of things people will get themselves caught up into trying to work a fancy computer. So, of course, you know, in the government, whatever police department employee did this, they basically allowed access, and whoever got those files, they encrypted it, and the only way to unencrypt it is to pay 65 Bitcoins to the hackers. Following the event, the city council unanimously agreed to pay. Unanimously. They were like, hey, stop messing around with these people. We don't even know what Bitcoin is. Just send it to them. And although there's purportedly no guarantee that the hackers will release the data upon receiving payment, they have agreed to do it just in case. One thing I've always been a big proponent of is I do not negotiate with terrorists. I have had hack type emails or people send me stuff that they'll take this or that ransomware, they can do that. You're not getting it out of me, dog. You have to literally come and take it from me. So in my opinion, I wouldn't have paid them anything. Those files would have been gone. Everybody in the technology department would have been fired, and we would have had to start from scratch, or we would have had to figure out it should be a backup. Like what? How do you not have a backup generator? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff wrong with this, but they did take over 10,000 government computers and paralyze the work of the local utility system using a ransomware called Robinhood. So this is something that has happened before. I do remember vividly working for a law firm doing IT. And one of the questions some of the people there asked was, hey, I heard about this Bitcoin stuff that you talk about. If we get hit with ransomware or get hacked, do you have enough Bitcoin to cover it? And I told them no, but of course I did. But I always used to tell people, hey, if you get hit with ransomware, they're going to demand Bitcoin probably. And at some point, you're going to have to buy it anyway. So you might as well buy it now. So hate to see it from Riviera Beach, but Florida's place is always up to something. So let's see who we have in the comments. Eric Brooks, Libra Corporate Consortium will be a global central bank like the Fed on steroids. It will attack all cryptocurrencies until it alone controls economic exchange. Yes, that is one of the biggest possibilities that everybody in crypto that has been around as long as I have has been waiting for it to come. When is the day that a new consortium is going to form and try and defeat all the cryptocurrencies? And whenever that day comes, we'll be ready for it. So yeah, Eric Brooks, I agree with you. Their reckoning is coming, but I have a lot of faith in the people that they won't be fooled simply because of who's doing it. Mark Zuckerberg has already dug himself a hole. And even though Facebook is useful, once you start playing with people's money, that's a problem. So yeah, Christopher Ladd, let's see. Can't knock the hustle. Let's see. Cornelius can run them Bitcoins B. Let's see. Crypto Bully, you can pay them and they still don't release the files. Do not negotiate with terrorists, man. If they have your stuff, you got. Don't stop trying to make up for it or whatever. Yeah, you just got. So let's see. Blockchain Shuja, they may have hacked their own system. People in the know are very aware of the value of Bitcoin. Yes, we say that every time. To me, it's an inside job until proven otherwise, always, because it's so easy if you work in the IT department or if you used to work in the IT department and you know some of the ways to get to trick people. Because I know how to trick everybody at the old law firm into clicking on something or accessing some file, and I could take down the whole system. But that's the thing. Don't want to do that. Don't want to go to jail. But some people take that chance and are a little bit more savvy than I am. So this does happen, and it could be on the inside. Let's see. Wife says no. Thanks for the tip. Oh yeah. Any ideas of when the IRS is going to intervene and update consequences for us that don't abide by their thieving? I don't know when they're going to intervene and update the consequences. However, I do know the wording of how they tax cryptocurrencies is it's such a gray area. It's ridiculous because they can call it property all they want, but it's not. It's cryptocurrency. They can call it capital gains tax, but it's not. It's cryptocurrency. So whatever they've come up with, it hasn't been a cryptocurrency actual tax. Everything is they've called it something. I mean, the CFTC called it a commodity. The SEC has called some other cryptocurrencies securities. So there's a whole different. They've got a lot of work to do. Wife says no. So when they come up with something, I'll definitely let you all know. Let's see. Shinobi 1, Bitcoin has no face. You are right. And Trich NYC. Yep, Eric as well. Oh yeah. So that is all of the stories I have for you all today. One of the best parts about this show is that I get to share pretty much every day everything I know about the industry and all the news going on. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you make sure you listen to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes. Once again, Bitcoin in Black America, getting ready to come out. The pre-sale will be very soon, as well as Blockchain Online. You can definitely sign up today. We are about 6 weeks out from the private beta version. And if you are one of those people who want to either invest in small business or receive loans and equity crowdfunding for your small business, we're doing that on the blockchain and with a focus on a lot of minority-owned businesses around the globe. So thank you all for watching today, and cheers. See you all on Friday.